The Podbreed Network is strictly for the small podcasts that are up and coming in the vast world of podcasting. Podbreed is made up of many diverse podcasts, coming together to achieve the same goal of being the best damn podcast network on the planet. Find out more at podbreed.com.
This is Mike Tyson. You listen to the XY show, and I think you'll enjoy it. It's going to be ecstatic.
The opinions expressed on the X and Y show are the sole opinions of the host. Please note, there is no intentional desire to offend any member of the listening audience. With that said, if you still feel offended, tough shit.
It's time for the X and Y show. With your host, Mr. Roosevelt. He talks about man topics, lady topics, and relationships. He talks about love, sex, and infidelities. He even gives good tips. There is no other show that compares to the X and Y show.
Oh yeah, sit back, take your clothes off, and relax. It's time for the X and Y show, where real relationship issues are talked about and addressed. The only place on the planet that tackles the topics that everyone wants to talk about, but no one is brave enough to address. Nothing escapes X and Y, baby. Now, here's your host, Roosevelt Colbert.
And greetings. Welcome to another segment of the X and Y show, and I'm your host, Roosevelt. I'm so glad to be back. That week went by really fast. Last time I talked to you, I said that we were getting ready for a tropical storm, and we were, and it turned into a hurricane at the last minute. But it didn't affect us too bad. It just rained a lot. But still, I'm sick of this shit. Every fucking year, 6 months out of the year, you got to walk on eggshells worrying about fucking hurricanes. I was really, for those of you who know, I've lived in Miami. I'm from Miami. I went back after years. And always hated that fucking place. Still hate Miami. It's a terrible city. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. If you went there and had a good time partying, I had motherfuckers come to me, oh, man, what are you talking about? That's a good place to party. Have you ever lived there, motherfucker? You don't know what the fuck you talking about. And it is a good place to party. And that's it. And once you party, you need to go back somewhere else. Because living, that's a terrible city. I wouldn't put my worst enemy in Miami. And I always wanted to get the fuck out of there. And I did. I moved a little away, but I really wanted to get the fuck out of Florida. Shit. It's too fucking hot. You got to worry about these hurricanes. And I just don't like Florida. I just, I've been other places, and there's better states than Florida. I don't want motherfuckers always, you got to go to Florida, it's the beach. I don't remember the last time I went to the beach. I do not. And actually got in the water? Oh, shit. I probably was a little boy or some shit. And I can swim for you motherfuckers. Oh, you probably can't swim. No, I can swim. I'm a Class A swimmer, but I swim in a pool. Shit. Fuck the beach, all that salt water and jellyfish and crabs and stingrays, all this shit that can hurt you. No, I swim in a pool. So fuck a beach. You got a park. Just a park to go to the beach might cost you $10 to $15 depending on what day you go. And then when you get on the beach, you got to jockey for a spot. You got 1.5 million other motherfuckers trying to lay out on the beach in the sun and shit. And it's just fucked up. I don't know why people enjoy that shit, but to each his own. But how did I get on this shit? Oh yeah, I was talking about the tropical storm, so it's over. But it is my ultimate goal to leave Florida again. And when I leave again, I will never return, not to live. And I mean that. When I got out of high school, I left for like 20 years before I came back, and I really didn't want to come back. But, my father got sick, and it was different things happening, and so I had to come back. And my mother's here now, so, I really didn't want to leave too far. But that's my ultimate goal, get the fuck out of here. Anyway, last week I did promise you 2 episodes, so this will be the first episode back, and then I'm going to record another one and release them at the same time. Well, same day. But I did promise you 2 episodes because I wasn't able to record last week because I had other shit on my mind. I was worrying about, how far this storm was going to go, if I was going to be out of power, and, all that kind of shit you got to worry about during a hurricane or a tropical storm. So I said I would give you 2 episodes, and then that's what I'm doing. This is the first one. So sit back. All right, so the first letter this week is from Bradley. Bradley says, what frustrates you more about dating? That's, wow. Well, there's a lot of things, but I guess to think about, if I had to just pull some shit out of the air, I would say one, when women talk too damn much. And I want a woman who talks, right? I want a woman who knows how to communicate and let me know what she's feeling and what's bothering her and, things I should do and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But sometimes some women, they talk too damn much. And that irks me. And I don't, especially as I get older, I don't like that shit. I don't like a woman that talks too fucking much. You said it once. I heard you the first time. I don't need to hear it 50 other times. So definitely when you're dating a woman that talks too damn much, that's definitely one. The uncertainty of time. And what I mean by that, how far this relationship is going to go. Especially I'm getting older now. I can't waste time like I used to. Back in the day, I didn't give a fuck. I was just out for pussy, and it didn't matter. About time was not of the essence. I had plenty of time. And, but now as I'm older, I can't waste time like that anymore. So, I'm less lenient when I see flaws. And I'm not saying that I'm looking for a perfect woman, but shit that just really aggravates me, that's it. Okay, next. I don't have time for this shit. So uncertainty of time. How far will this relationship go? You can be in a relationship 1, you look around, 5 years have gone by. And when you fuck around and break up, you're 5 years older. So that uncertainty of time now, that's definitely something that frustrates me. And that's what a lot of women are going to as well. The difference is women, they don't know how to stop with the bullshit. Even though they're older, they still have the mentality or the desires of when they were in their 20s. And that should not be. But you still have women walking around in their 40s and 50s still looking or desiring men as if they were in their 20s. And that's unrealistic. So both sexes go through this. But I would say that women, it affects differently. But that's definitely one, the uncertainty of time and the time that I'm investing in this relationship. Where will it go? Dealing with baby daddies. That's definitely something that frustrates me, and it's something that I dealt with unwillingly in some relationships that I had in the past. Because, I don't particularly date women with kids because of that reason. Because I don't want to deal with the baby daddies. I don't want to end up catching a case from putting a cap in their ass. So I don't usually fuck with women with kids because of dealing with the baby daddies. The baby daddies crazy as hell. I don't want to deal with that shit. But there has been some instances where I've been caught up in some shit and I had to deal with the baby daddies, had to whoop his ass and all kind of shit. That's something I don't want to deal with right now. But that's definitely something that frustrates me. And that's why I really don't want to date women with kids, to just cut out all that shit. So, I would say another thing is hygiene. There's a lot of women that don't wash their asses, or wash their asses enough. How many women do you know, ladies, or some of your girlfriends, they only bathe their ass in the mornings, and that's it. They take one bath or one shower a day, and they good. They come home from a long day at work, getting on the subway and or just even at work, you interacting with people talking to your face and spitting on you and shit, and just being around people. And you have a lot of women that come home and get their asses, dirty asses, in their beds and go to sleep. Oh, that frustrates me. I stopped dating a girl once because she wouldn't bathe her ass more than once a day. And I say, nah, I can't do this. Because, if we would have got married, right? And I would have said, you don't wash your ass enough for me. And she said, well, I've always done this. You didn't say nothing before. And she would have been right. I couldn't say anything because I knew she only bathed her ass once a week and I still married her. So that would have been on me. So I didn't like that shit. I communicated with her. I said, you don't wash your ass enough. Why you only bathe your ass once a day? And she was like, there's no need. She was one of those environmentalists. She really just to bathe her ass once a day was, she really didn't want to do that. She thought that was just a waste of water. I don't know how I ended up, but that's why you have to get to know a person, because, a lot of shit you just don't know until you really know them, until you start spending time with them. But, yeah, she didn't wash her ass and she refused to change. She wasn't going to change, there's a lot of shit she did as well. Like running AC at 85, that kind of shit. Fuck with me about recycling and I recycle, but goddamn, shit, I don't know. Be talking about no fucking recycling every damn thing I throw in the garbage. Shit, that's garbage. Goddamn it! Come on now, shit. So that kind of shit. So, but ultimately, she didn't bathe her ass enough. So that's one thing that frustrates me. So I would say, Bradley, those are the things that really frustrates me while dating. There's other things too, but those are the things that really are like low fruit. So I'm gonna go with those. Brianna says, what do men really want in a woman? Brianna, that I can't answer that question. I can't answer that question because every man is different. You have your different ages and so forth. So, Denzel's desire in a woman is different from mine. I shouldn't have used him because he's married, but it's different. Every man is different. It's like a fingerprint. No man is the same. And with me, it has changed over the years. When I was in my 20s, all I wanted was a hairy pussy. I actually still want that, but I want other things as well. Back then, I didn't give a fuck what she had or aspirations or goals. I didn't give a fuck about all that. Did she have a hairy pussy? Really, I didn't get in a nice titty stage until I was in my 30s. I didn't give a fuck about titties in the 20s. I could care less. A lot of my white friends, oh, bro, she gotta have big boobs, dude. Nah, I didn't give a fuck about titties back then. I just wanted a hairy pussy. I don't know what the fuck I have for hairy pussies, but now it's different. I want a woman with goals. A woman with good family upbringing. A woman who definitely has my back. A woman that will be my better half. A woman to be compassionate and loving towards me. A woman that is compassionate and loving towards other people. A woman who's able to empathize. A woman who has long-term goals. A woman who has the same ideals as I do in regards to a family and the respect of elders. So, and also, yeah, a hairy pussy, and big titties. So, that's just some of the things I want in a woman, but those things with a lot of men don't mean shit. A lot of men just want to, is she breathing? And that's understandable. Men are different, so, and what I said, it wasn't anything that should be out of the ordinary. I wasn't asking for a woman that looked like Beyonce, and I didn't say any of that. I didn't say anything physical except for the titties and the hairy pussy, actually. So, I don't think my wants in a woman are unrealistic or unfair. I think that's just a basic good woman to me, But, you have some men that purely physical. If they don't have big titties, get out of my face. If they don't have a hairy pussy, get out of my face. They don't have a pretty skin, get out of my... I didn't mention any of that shit. But, like I said, all men are different. So, I can't really answer that, Brianna. But, email me if you're in the same city. We'll see what we can... Next letter, final letter from Martha. Martha says, I'm a Cuban-American woman. I have 2 boyfriends. One guy is a Cuban. He is strictly for my parents. He's a gynecologist. Oh, shit, I like him already. Nice guy, but not for me. Second guy, who is a black man. Okay, I already know where this is going, but is everything I ever dreamed. Yeah, is everything I ever dreamed in a man. He has an MBA from Harvard. Smart. Good dick. And I love him. Oh, damn. However, I simply cannot take him to meet my parents or my family. What can I do? Well, Martha, as I was reading that letter, I really knew what you were going to say, but I finished it anyway. And you're in a debacle. There's a lot of women who want to date other men that are not like them, nationally or ethnically. But they don't, because they know their families would not accept them. And that's unfortunate, because you want your families to love your, or like and love your soulmate. And when they don't, it's a problem. But I'm going to tell you something, Martha. You have to live your life. I know a lot of women that have gone your route, and they chose the route to please their families. And a lot of them is either two options. Either they're married and miserable, or they're single and lonely. There's only two options. And what ended up happening when their mother and father pass on, by that time they're older, mid-40s, early 50s. So they don't have the options that they had in their 20s and 30s. So a lot of them end up being alone for the rest of their lives because they was living for their families instead of living for themselves. So I say to you, Martha, you have to think about you. Unfortunately, you can't think about your family because your family is not always going to be there. And I'm not saying to put this man over your family, but you have to get what makes you happy. And your family has to get on board. They have to get on board. You have to sit down and talk with them and say, Mom, Dad, I love this man and da-da-da. He makes me happy and da-da-da. I want him to be my husband. If they don't accept it, that's on them. That's the way I see it. You have to make yourself happy. And if you love this man, that's enough. That's enough. So, unfortunately, you might lose your family. You have to come to grips with that. You might just lose them, So you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? Is he worth it, to lose my family, to jeopardize my relationship with my family? But it sounds like to me you don't like Cuban men, or you're open to other ethnic groups. So it sounds like to me like, even if you drop this man and say, well, I'm not going to do that, because, what's to say down the road you don't fall for another brother or another Indian or some shit or Chinese guy or whatever. So you have to quash that shit right now. You have to tell your family, this is the man that makes me happy. And I hope you come to grips with it. If you don't, I'm very sorry, Mom and Dad, but I have to get my own happiness. And that's my advice to you. Never sacrifice your love for even your family. Because in the end, we're talking about you. You're the only one that's going to have to live with your decision, not your family. So that's my advice. All right, so let's get into this week's episode. God damn. Should you haze a person before you marry them? Should you haze a person before you marry them? Now, for those of you who don't know what the hell I'm talking about, haze, haze, what are they talking about? Haze, if you're familiar with fraternities and sororities, you go through a stage where you get hazed. Well, basically, they kick your ass for a number of weeks before they let you in the fraternity or sorority. And all the fraternities kick your ass. Shit. Don't give me that shit. A lot of times, oh no, we don't do that anymore. That's bullshit. Those fraternities and sororities been whooping ass for over 200 years. That'll never stop. That's one of the reasons why I never pledged, because the first time a motherfucker would have hit me, we was fighting. And then, it was about 8 or 9 of them or whatever, and I would have lost, but I would have been taking 2 or 3 of them to the hospital with me. Shit. Hit me in my jaw. But, yeah, so hazing, they make you do a bunch of dumb shit, do laundry and kick your ass, make you iron their clothes, a bunch of dumb shit. So a bunch of tests that you have to do before you can join these fraternities. So that's what hazing is. But a lot of it is when they kick your ass. But anyway, so should someone haze you before you marry them? And I'm not talking about beating the other person's ass, or making them do dumb shit. But I'm talking about putting them through an array of tests before you say that you want to marry this person. That's all I'm saying. Now, every person is different, whether they determine if they're going to get married or not. Some people, some guys, if you got good pussy, let's get married. Some women, he makes good money. Oh, yeah, let's get married. Damn. So, different people are different. But with me, I'm simple. I have 4 stages that makes my determination if I'm going to get married or not. And, obviously no woman has ever made it through all 4 stages. Otherwise, I'd be married right now, right? So now I have some women to make the stage. I have 4 stages. I had women make it to stage 3. That yeah. But that 4th stage was the killer, and that's the ultimate one that a lot of them, many of them have not been able to get over, as far as I'm concerned. So let me go through the 4 stages that I have, and then you can kind of see if they, mirror yours. Some of you have more stages. Some of you have 8, 10, 50, Some of you have just 1. So listen to mine and then see how close they are to yours. And maybe you need to change them, reevaluate your stages as you get older, because shit change. It changed with me, before. Well, no, it didn't really change, but I had less stages. It did change. I had less stages. It was more physical for me. But I was young. I wasn't getting married. Shit. But now, anyway, here's my stage. Stage 1, get to know stage. This is a stage where you get to know the person. When I first started dating a woman, I want to know her beliefs. I want to know her religious beliefs. If she's a Muslim, it's not going to work. I don't have anything against Muslims. I'm just saying, it's not my religion, so it wouldn't work. And that's not just Muslims. Is if she's a Hindu or she's a Buddhist, any of that. I'm a Christian, so any of that, it's not going to work. So that's the kind of stage where you can eliminate a lot of stuff from the get-go, so you don't waste too much time. So you have to get to know her religious beliefs, her political beliefs. I wouldn't call myself a liberal. I'm kind of in the middle. So, when it comes to politics, I have, it really doesn't matter to me as far as where she goes. For example, I can be, I can support Democrats, and if she supports Republicans, that's fine. I have no problem with that. The only problem that I have is if she supports or supported Donald Trump. That's the only thing, because I believe, anyone that supported him, I don't think would get along with me on the long term. I don't care if she supports Republicans. I don't give a damn about that. You have different ideas. Some people are more conservative and some people are more liberal ideas when it comes to certain things. That's cool. It's good to have different ideas. But someone who supported Donald Trump specifically, I would have a problem with that. So you have to know their views when it comes to politics. how they, think on certain things. You have to know their views on marriage. They might not have the same ideas of marriage as you do. So that's, that get to know stage. Those are some of the things I look at. You also have to know what kind of family they come from. I always want to know what kind of family this girl come from. I want to know what her idea of a family is. And what the family that she comes from could definitely have an impact on the way she thinks a family should be. So that's definitely something you should know. I also want to know her goals and aspirations. Like I said, a lot of times in this stage, you can get rid of a lot of bullshit. What are your goals? Nah, I don't know. Okay. I'll call this motherfucker no. In your 20s, it's okay to say that. But you're in your 30s, you don't know what you want to do. You don't know your goals. What do you want to be in 5 years, 10 years? What do you see yourself? I don't know. Yeah, okay. And you can make a decision depending on, how attractive you are. Maybe she just be a piece of ass until something else comes along. I've done that. I call those transitional fucks. We just waiting until something better comes along, but you just getting a nut. But again, I'm at the age now, I don't want to do transitional fucks anymore, because sometimes with those transitional fucks, you look around and 10 years have gone by, or 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. And I can't waste time like that anymore. And sometimes those transitional fucks are good fucks, and you become complacent, and it's hard to get away from that shit because you already getting some good pussy, or some good dick. And you don't look for what you find to be ideal in a soulmate. You're not looking because you're complacent. Everything's good with your transitional fuck. So you have to be careful with those. And right now, I don't want to do any transitional fucks. So it's a good thing. If they don't pass that stage, I usually cut them, the get to know stage. And at this stage, you have to determine if, you like them. That's what's important. Do you like them? You going out on a date. And a lot of people say, well, we went on a date with them, I must like them. No, not necessarily. A lot of women go out on dates just to eat. A lot of guys just go out on a date for a nut. It's not, just because they go out on a date doesn't mean they like you. So if you're looking for a soulmate, you have to determine if you like them in that first stage. And for me, that first stage, do I like them? What are their aspirations, their goals in life? What kind of family they came from? And what are their beliefs, religious beliefs, political beliefs, their ideas, what a marriage should be? That's stage one for me. And I know a lot of you saying, damn, that's a lot of... I see why he married. But you have to, and I don't think that stage is bad. I don't see anything overextensive about it. You have to weed out bullshit, because if you don't weed out bullshit, then the bullshit gets by. And then you end up marrying bullshit, which is a lot of people in situations today. If they would have had my stage one, they wouldn't be married to bullshit right now. So you have to do that. And to determine if that person is right for you. Well, at least I do. Shit. Now, my stage two. Get to know their bad habits. Are they good people? Do they wash their asses? Do Do they talk too damn much? That kind of thing. You have to know their bad habits. You have to really, in this stage, that means you guys are really spending a lot of time together. You're going out on a lot of dates. You're fucking. You're spending time with maybe their family. This stage 2 is good. You have to find out all the bad habits. You have to find out the friends that they have, the friends that they're hanging out with. Friends, especially when it comes to women, can influence their decisions on certain shit within your relationship. So you have to know what you're dealing with. You have some friends of your girlfriend that are very detrimental to your relationship. They don't like you because you're taking their friend away from them, and your friend is happy, they not happy, so they don't, it's jealousy, it's all kind of shit. So you have to know their friends, who they're hanging out with, who's putting ideas in their head. And guys have friends too. Guys have some fucked up friends too. I'm not saying that it's just women. So women have to do this too. My stages could actually work both ways. So you have to see what friends they have in their lives. That's another thing. Learn also if you can count on them, for different shit that might come up. Pick you up from the hospital. I remember one time when I lived in Atlanta, this girl that I was fucking, and she was in stage 2, I had to go to the hospital. It was a little minor surgery, a hernia from doing shit that I shouldn't have been doing. But it was a little hernia they had to fix. So I had to, and they had me on that anesthesia. They don't like to, you can't drive home. So, and this is before Uber days, for those of you who are wondering, well, you could have just called an Uber. So I could have caught a cab, but, for those of you who are familiar with Atlanta, the hospital was North Point. I think that's the name of that hospital. North Point or North Side. One of them. North Side or North Point, one of them. It's in Buckhead or north of the city. At that time, I lived in Marietta. So that shit would have been damn $80 more calling a cab. Shit. So I asked this girl, hey, I'm having can you come pick me up and, take me home, and suck my dick and all kind of stuff. I had some plans for her that night. And she said, well, I kind of had plans, I'm just going to go out with my friends a little bit and we just going to go out for drinks. I'm like, what? I'm thinking to myself, like, really? I'm saying, I gave her a chance. I said, you can't pick me up from the hospital. I'll tell you what, just pick me up from the hospital and just drop me off. Well, we just going out with my friends, can you just call a cab? So I said, okay. I knew this was going. She wasn't coming. They know, motherfucker, I'm not coming. So, actually, how did I get home? Oh, yeah, I called another friend. She was strictly platonic. Should have maybe been dating her. She came and picked me up and made sure that I got in and was settled and everything was cool. And, she did what my girl should have been doing. So, and I thought about that. So, then the next day, the girl, my so-called girl, called me, hey, can I come over? I said, no. She said, why? I said, well, I think that you and I should take a break. She said, oh, this is because of yesterday. I said, yeah, it's because of yesterday. So, we ended up breaking up. I told her, and it's funny, after I broke up with her, and she really started doing more shit to impress me, but it was too late, That's simple shit. Just pick me up from the hospital. You can't do that. What about if we're married? A lot of you saying, oh, that was hard, Roosevelt. Damn, you got rid of. What about if we're married and I break my hip or some shit and she got to wipe my ass? What then? She come pick me up from the airport. She's not going to do the big shit. So nah. So she failed in stage 2. I got rid of her ass. So little shit like that, like picking up from the hospital, lend you money. Right now I'm financially stable. I don't need money. But I'm just saying, take you to the airport, little shit. Can you count on them? That's the thing. Can you count on them? That's stage 2. That's what you find out in stage 2. Stage 3. Get to really know their family. Now, stage 1, you know what kind of family they come from. And she can say all kind of shit, which sometimes you can't go by. You have to know them. So stage 3, you really get to know their families, right? You get to know if their mother is crazy as hell. You get to know if their father is crazy as hell. And their siblings too. Siblings are not really that important. It's their mother and father. Those are the two. And a lot of times it's hard to assess because sometimes the father's not there. I'm saying not from death. I'm saying that the father was never there. That's important. Or the mother, sometimes those strange situations where the mother's not there. So you have to find out what you're dealing with. You have to know their family, know them for yourself. You have to determine in this stage 3, if her family likes you. A lot of you are dealing with shit now that you wouldn't, if you could go back in time, you would have, I don't know, you would have went through that shit. So you have to know if their family likes you. And if you know that their family likes you or don't like you and their father is crazy as hell, their mother is crazy as hell, siblings, you have to determine the potential problems that you might have down the road with them and determine if you can live with that. Now, if you can live with it, then you're cool. You can go to stage, you can get out of stage 3. That letter that I wrote, she sounds like she's in stage 3. Because it's kind of reversed though, because he has to figure out if she brings the brother, will they accept him? So, it's kind of, I should say the guy she's dating is in stage 3. And, he has to find out if her family could actually change their ways and actually like him. So he's in stage 3. Her boyfriend, Martha, her boyfriend, he's in stage 3. He has to determine if her family would like him. And he has to really, decide if he wants to live with her family, potentially not ever liking him. So that's stage 3. You have to really get to know the families, get to know if they like you, get to know if they're crazy as hell, what you're dealing with. Can you deal with it or can't you? I've gotten to stage 3, and obviously I made the decision I can't deal with this. Mother's crazy as hell. Dad is crazy as hell. And before I say anything disrespectful, I don't want to deal with this shit. It's not worth it to me. So I had some women get to stage 3, and I had to let them go. Now, stage 4, and the last stage, the most important stage you can have. Can you guess it, what it is? Give you 2 seconds. Stage 4, the last and most important stages of all. Determine if you really love the person. a lot of you get through all the stages. And some of you, say, well, it's okay. They got through all of that, but let's just marry. Let's get married. That's enough. But you don't go to that fourth stage. Do you really love them? Do you really love them? And that's what so many marriages are missing today. So many, they never actually love the person. So those are my 4 stages. So are they most similar to yours, or are they totally different? Those are the stages that have gotten me to where I am today. Now, granted, I'm not married, but at least I'm not married and miserable. So, the stages that I have, for me, they've worked. It kept a lot of bullshit away. And I think that there's a stage 4 out there somewhere, and if it's not, oh well, but I can't be miserable. I can't, allow a person just to pass stage 1 and 2 and say, fuck it, I get married and then I'm miserable and I'm fucked up. No, I'm going to run the full race. They got to pass stage 4. They got to go through 1, 2, 3, and 4. Otherwise, you're setting yourself up for failure. Whatever stage criteria that you have, whatever contest that you have or trial that you have, if they don't complete it, then you're setting yourself up for failure. Don't compromise what you're looking for. Now, some of you are too hard. You want stuff, you have to be realistic with your trials. Be realistic. I think if everyone is realistic and honest, then there'll be less fucked up marriages in the world. So, should you haze someone before you marry them? Absolutely yes. You have to determine if that person is right for you, not just for today, but the long term as well. You have to determine what type of people they have in their lives, their family, their friends, and have to determine what kind of person he or she is. And that is success for a nice, long marriage. How many stages do you have? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And I'm going to record an episode right after this, so be sure to check that out as well. You can check out the X and Y Show on all of your major outlets. I'm on iHeart, Spotify, Google, Apple, Podbreed. I'm on quite a few. So anything that you listen to on your podcast, I'm probably on. So check me out. Be sure to subscribe, please. Also, you can buy a shirt in my store on my site. Check it out as well. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, on my social media. You can find everything on my website, which is www.xyshow.com. You can find everything there. So be sure to check me out, and I will definitely appreciate that. So I guess that is it for this episode. But before I go, I want you always to remember that you cannot have love without X and Y. Later.
You've been listening to The X and Y Show with your host, Roosevelt Colbert, the place where real relationship issues are talked about and addressed. Join us next time. You can now put your clothes back on, or not.